Hello, this is Rotor Actor Aditya Rastogi from Rotor Cover Fundrapuram Parivar, RID 3012. I'm a first year MBA student. Today, here with me is Mr. Bezwada Wilson. Mr. Bezwada Wilson is the visionary of Safai Karmachari Andolan. He's also been awarded Ramon Magsaysay Award. Ramon Magsaysay Award, also often called as Nobel Prize of Asia. It has been awarded to Sir for the courageous service to the people. So thank you, sir, for taking out the time for this interview. The first question that I wanted to ask you, and I'm very curious to know, is what inspired you to become an activist against manual scavenging? Was there any personal experience?
There is not such important anything to say. I have shared many times. But one thing which I want to say is the scavenging as such, so cruel practice. If you look into that practice, any person, they immediately they have to respond. So I had a kind of an encounter for the women cleaning and all. I felt it is so bad to accept that kind of a situation, our fellow human being. They are our people in the sense India divided into the very caste, class, all these things. But whether they are our people, they are some other people, that is not important. But how we can allow such kind of in a cruel form of the any practice to continue in our human society. In that circumstance, I felt that we have to do something. But I don't know what to do.
That's basic, sir. That's amazing that you started this. Also, I wanted to ask you another question. Like, we often hear in the news outlets and from various government spokespersons that manual scavenging has been eradicated since 1993. But what is the current ground reality, sir?
See, the thing is, the government usually or their spokespersons, they want to say that they are doing very well.
Yes.
But my humble request to the any party or the spokespersons or the politicians or the leaders of the many various parties, that they must see that there should not be a kind of in a practice like a manual scavenging. So that should be their aim. That should be their actually the purpose of giving the information to others. So they try to say that our party is doing good. It's okay. All our parties are doing good. But after 75 years of the independence, if we are still having the dry latrines in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, few parts of the Uttarakhand, Maharashtra, and Jammu Kashmir. So what is the use? You come and say that I am okay, you are okay. It is not in a competition that you are okay, I am okay, both will celebrate. It is in a point that in a independent India, how we allowed such a inhuman practice 75 years. If at all is there, let us have a discussion, dialogue and effort to eradicate that. In that direction, we have not gone. 1993, the Indian government has prohibited the practice. Like example, it is we prohibited the dowry, but people are still taking the dowry. So we prohibited many things, but those practices here are there, is there. But manual scavenging is not such thing. It is we are putting our all problems on some women, and we are asking her to you clean. So this kind of a problems, we everybody together we have to see that no human being is cleaning the human excreta.
So, coming on to the topic of government, in the recent 2023 budget, the finance minister announced 100% mechanical cleaning of the septic tanks. So what are your views on that, and do you think the government is doing enough?
See, government is happy to actually to announce the schemes. Always. They have the, and they are meant for that. They have to announce. People are expecting something to happen. But the problem here is, no government is seeing exactly what they are saying is achievable or not. So our finance minister, Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman, she comes, previous year also she has given the same speech. This year also the same speech. So every year after year, you give them the same speech and say that we see that we are doing this. But my question is, in this government, past almost like 8 years, and this second term is almost they completed the 4 years. How many machines the settled government has actually made available for the people? Some individuals, some colleges, some IIT, some institutions, some students, some startups, they are doing 1 or 2 here. But the problem is as such, it is a problem of the 140 crore people. So when it comes to the sewage system or the scavenging problem, we think that it is a problem of the scavengers. That's the way we are actually doing the wrong. The truth is actually, we have to see that this is the problem of the 140 crore citizens. So that idea we are not taking. If you take 140 crore people, how we are going to provide in a mechanized way of the sanitation? Then how many crores is required? How many statutory towns are there in the country? How many statutory towns you are going to do 100% mechanization? Can we ask our finance minister or the prime minister, can you do at least one city in this whole financial year? No. So there exactly the problem starts. False promises or not assessing well. Just coming and just kuch bolna so hum bol diya. We want to say something, I said something. No. This is, you can say that we are trying, we are doing, we are making the roads, we are making the flyovers, we are making the parks. Okay. You can make, even if you are not making, it will give some kind of trouble to the people, comfort levels. But when you are not making your task of the scavenging mechanization, we are also killing the people. And every year there are the hundreds of the people are dying or we are killing in the sewage and septic tank. So you have to look from that perspective.
Yeah, so government is just making the empty promises and nothing is going on paper.
They're not understanding. They don't want to understand that. That is the problem. We can't say that that is an empty promise or anything. Okay. That's a blank statement. But I want to say very clearly, they are not assessing the whole problem. Okay. They are not taking serious. If they could have taken it as a serious, we could have not lost almost like a 2,400 such citizens in the gutters and the sewage.
Exactly. So they are just sitting from the top and viewing it from the bottom perspective. Viewing it from the top perspective, kind of.
No, they are not looking the country and the people in the same this thing. Like example, if they want to do some kind of repairs in the Prime Minister's office, will they going to postpone for the 2-3 years or 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years?
No, not at all.
They will not. Today order will come, day after tomorrow it is done. It is in the Chief Minister's house. It happens within the 24 hours. But when it is in a sewage and septic tank where the people are dying, they will just prolong. See, our priorities are not on the basis of the justice. Our priorities must be exactly on the basis of the justice. You have to. If I don't do this, it is injustice to someone. So I have to do immediately. It is another thing is a comfort facility that you can delay 1 day. 1 day delay uncomfort. If your AC is not working in your house, 1 day you cannot sleep well. That does not mean that you never slept at all whole night. But scavenging, what we are talking is not like that. If you are delaying 1 day, there are somebody is dying. And some women is going and cleaning with the hand. Exactly. So we have to take a war-footed manner and put the timelines in very clear manner.
Yes, sir. So the next question I would like to ask is, what are the challenges that you face while working on this issue?
See, the main challenge comes from the people, my own people, because they think that this is their work. So then we started discussing and having a dialogue with them, and we explain about the dignity, self-respect, freedom, liberty, all these things. Then slowly they will also think that I am also a human being. Why should I do this kind of a very inhuman kind of a work? And if the work conditions are so drastically very bad, why should I put my life into the risk? And why I should throw my children life on the street? So they will also realize and they want to come out. But the problem here is when they are coming out, the elected governments has to do something and immediately, and that is not happening. And civil society must come within a large number and say that I will not allow to clean like this. That awareness is coming. It is absolutely so good, but that is not sufficient, because we have to raise to the level the civil society where the government has to put into that kind of a pressure. I cannot postpone because everybody is asking. So that citizens a kind of an overwhelming response we are expecting.
Okay. So, according to you, what is the major cause of people working in this manual scavenging?
See, one is very clear. We are almost destroying the self-respect and the dignity of those people. That is not repairable. That is, you can't take back, or you can't again go and say that I am sorry, I am excused. Because once we destroy the dignity, self-respect and confidence of any human being, it is very difficult for them to build again. It may take one generation or the 2 generations. Making one human being to clean the shit of other human being is such a drastic level of collapsing or attacking the dignity, confidence of any other human being. So that has to be dealt in a very sensible manner. It can't be just say that you want a rehabilitation, okay, we will give the rehab. No, it is not just rehabilitation. You have to just start accepting those community also as equal we are. As Constitution of India says that we are all the citizens of this great country, we are all equal. So that equality in action we must show to our fellow human being. There we are lacking.
Yes, sir. So, in various laws or I would say news articles, we have heard that under emergency situation, a person can enter the septic tank. So, could you elaborate what are these emergency situations?
See, Act never says that you can allow the human being to enter. It says very clearly, even including the Supreme Court judgment, see, in any circumstance, a human being should not enter into the manhole or the sewage or the septic tanks inside. And that has to clean in the mechanized manner. In case of emergency, and emergency also they define. If the manholes are there on the road, center of the road, in many instances, the manholes will be on there. So some kind of any heavy vehicles, when it goes, sometimes the lid of the manhole may break into the pieces and fall on the down. So the debris you cannot suck from the machine. Somebody has to go, or you must have some machine to go inside and take that, like our cranes or the procliners, like something machine. Unless until we reach to that stage of mechanization, if at all required somebody with the safety gear, with an oxygen, with an ambulance, with an officer's the permission, so they have to enter. During that time, the officer has to actually see that the presence is there. So thereby there some mishap will not happen. That called the emergency. But our people, every day they ask the human being to come and enter. Every day they ask somebody to go and clean. When they clean, they die, they say that it is emergency. That can't be the emergency. Emergency is which is you cannot avoidable. That is called the emergency. Emergency, overflow is not emergency. Overflow happens. Why it happened, overflow? There is a reason. That you have to deal. And you have to understand that. That can't be emergency. Emergency is a big trolley or the truck where passes and it has a broken, that kind of or some septic tank or the some whatever, the sewer line, it collapsed due to some other this thing. So you need a human being. So that is called emergency. Emergency is not, it is get filled, so you have to, you know that every day when we are adding, it get filled. So before that, you have to make your own arrangements. Without doing arrangements, if you think that that is emergency, so there is no point of, there is no exactly point of saying emergency as a big word.
Sir, the last question that I wanted to ask you is, how can we or any other individual help in eradicating manual scavenging? and promote human dignity and human rights for all?
So it's a very good and important question, which is everybody must understand. See, as an individual, when you see if something is happening, like example, somebody is doing a scavenging with the bare hands or with some kind of gloves, but scavenging. So you have to immediately go talk to them. First you talk to them, because nobody is talking to them. So they are also thinking that I have to do this work. You go and talk to them and say very clearly, this is a prohibited practice. They will know that. So they will also say that yes, it is a prohibited, where roti kaise hai. So you can explain to them very clearly, there is a rehabilitation package. At the same time, you can also bring the same incident to the notice of the district magistrate or the collector or the deputy commissioner of the particular district. Because the district magistrate has the powers to eradicate the manual scavenging and release then a manual scavengers for the rehabilitation package. So once you bring to their notice, the government has to act. But my request, humble request to the everybody, people like you and the Rotaract and the individuals, the government may not respond if you go and just say immediately, oh, you have brought the good news and I am going to do. May not say. You have to continuously put the pressure on them. One letter, it has not responded. It's okay. You can write that too, because they have the many issues. They are not just waiting for your letter and after you write the letter and immediately respond. No, they may have some job or some other important, some minister's visit. It's okay. But after 15 days, again you go back or get back to the same place. Write one more letter. After 2-3 letters, it is not coming. You write a strong letter. Despite of my 2 letters or the petitions, my memorandum, my complaint, you have not taken any action. Why? Let me know the reason for the non-implementation of the 1993 Act, thereby later 2013 new Act. Why MS Act 2013 is not implementing? Then they get alert. Oh, the citizens are getting aware. See, actually, the awareness of the citizens, active participation of the citizens only makes the law into the implementable. Law making in the parliament automatically is not going to implement in anywhere in the country. You have to actually, the citizens has to participate. This is not my words. This is the drafting committee chairperson of the constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, said very clearly, the active participation of the citizens is a matter in implementation of the law and the constitution of the country. So we have everything in the constitution. We have the constitution says very clearly, liberty, equality, fraternity, justice is a fundamental rights. And we will do that. But when it is not happening, citizens has to participate. See that it is happening. And you can create awareness. And you can go to the many people. You can talk to your own family members. You can go to any school, college, and you can, if you are a teacher, you can tell your students. If you are an engineer, you can tell your colleagues to develop any machine or anything they can do. So it is an internet and a global world. If we are all coming together, it is not so difficult to eradicate the manual scavenging at all. And I hope that with all support of you actively participating, many organizations like Rotaract and Indirapuram Parivar and all others, we can achieve the target soonest possible, so that no woman is going to clean human excreta by hand in this great country, and no human being is entering into the sewage and septic tank and unnecessarily losing the life. Let us protect the life of every citizen. Every life matters. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking out the time for the interview, sir. And just for the reference, sir is quite humble and he's amazing to talk to.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.